You're tuned in to the sharp side. Now, here's your host, Profit Props.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Matty Ice here with Profit Props. And today we're going to go over a recap of yesterday or what little bit we had of yesterday. We're also going to talk about what I like for today, what I've already released. Some of you got it, engaging in Twitter. Again, I appreciate everybody for all their engagement, whether you're watching, tagging along, subscribed, liking, tweeting, retweeting. Everything helps. So I appreciate it. So let's talk about yesterday. We had a show for about, I don't know, how long did we make it? 2-3 minutes?
About 5.
We made it about 5 minutes, and then the power went out in my area. I thought we had a good show going, and then the power went out, and by the time I had electricity again, it was 8:30, and just nothing could be done. There was no point in going live at that point. Overall, yesterday 3 and 4, but we found a little bit of profit. Terry Rozier 2 units, Chris Paul 2 units, both cashed. We had one other cash. Give me a moment here. I'll pull up. If you follow me on BetStamp, you can get all of these as well. You might say, why isn't it behind a paywall if Dub Club is? Well, come March 31st, it will be. They'll be pending, and you won't be able to see them until the game starts. But plays will always be free on pod. So if you can't afford to do the Dub Club, which is free until April 1st, you can still get everything free if you watch along on the pod. The lines probably will move some, but with that being said, you can still find value, I think. If not every play, some plays will definitely still have the same line. And if we're being honest, I'm modeling. I'm not steam chasing. So you might get a better number every once in a while waiting as well. Just because my model says something doesn't mean there isn't another sharp out there with a model with more money betting the other side. So 4 plays for us today. Gave 2 out early to everybody that liked a tweet. Kristaps Porzingis under 23.5 minus 110 when I gave it out. If I look at the market now, I think everybody's shifted to 22.5. There may be some 23.5s out there, but they're few and far between. I'm giving this out first because this game does start in it starts at 10 after 5 Eastern. It's right now 10 till 5, so you have 20 minutes. I'm going to just see what the best odds are. Yeah, you can ping us in here. You can actually get a 23.5, 125 at MGM. So even if you couldn't get this on Dub Club, you still are getting a 23.5, just paying a little bit of juice. So I like that play a lot. They just played 2 days ago. Porzingis had 25, but he hit a late 3. I think Toronto is going to play a little better defense on him tonight. I'm still expecting around a 20-point game from him. I'm expecting him just shy of 23, however. Second play, we're going back to the well. I just cashed this. We just cashed this a couple nights ago. I didn't think they'd hang this line again, but we're getting James Wiseman under 13.5. Let me see if you can still find one. You can still find one. You got to pay 125. We got it at 115. So you're not getting the same value as those at Dub Club, but you're still getting the same number. So I'm happy about that. I want us all to succeed. So James Wiseman under 13.5. If you don't know, he's a Detroit Piston now. He was traded by the Warriors late January. I think he's going to do well in Detroit. I think he's going to do better than he did in Golden State. With that being said, I think under 13.5 is a good spot for us tonight in this position. What else do we have? Oh, not to mention Wiseman's going against Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley. Like, I don't think Wiseman's going to struggle, but Cleveland's not the team to hang this number against. Just isn't. And another thing I'm curious about, the spread in this game is 15 or 16 points. Does Wiseman run, meaningless minutes? That's a good question to ask yourself. I think even if he does, he stays under this. But if this were to go over, maybe it's because even though they're up 15 or 20, he closes the game. Just looking ahead. So we move on from Wiseman and we go to Trae Young. You got something?
No, you just sounded good when you were talking, like kind of more into the mic.
Okay. Trae Young under, I don't see any on BetStamp, or I mean on there. Let me go to BetStamp, see if I can find us a Trae Young. Trey. Where's my boy Trey? So I got a 26.5, 115 at Bovada. That seems to be the only 26.5 I can find. That being said, I still like the 25.5, just not as much. This is one of those plays where you really see the value in signing up to the Dub Club. Not that I'm trying to just push this, but you just got that number at 26.5, 115 is the only difference there. So if this game ends by a point difference, that's when it pays. And then I think I have one more play that I've already made, already sent out. But then after this, I want to go through the board with y'all, kind of show you what I'm thinking in each of these games and see if we can't find another play or two. With that being said, De'Aaron Fox over 27.5 points. We laid a 115 on this. I just spelled fix. So, oh no, my computer's fucked up. All right, hold on. So, again, you can still get this number, just not quite the same price. 27.5, 125 is out there. DraftKings, MGM, and all the Canby books. You're paying 10 cents on a little extra, but I still love the 27.5. Caesars is at 127 as well. So if you don't have access to the other three, Caesars as well is at 27.5 still. You can see that FanDuel opened 27.5, 115 at noon today. That's about the time I gave this out. And you could have gotten a 13.5. You could have even gotten an 08. That's why it's important to pay attention and shop. I didn't see an 08 when I was shopping. I can't remember exactly when I gave this out. But again, what's it? De'Aaron Fox over 27.5. I like this play a lot. So those are the four that I have ready. And then one thing we haven't, we've kind of done this, but not really. I'm going to go through. There's 6 games today. I'm going to give kind of my thoughts on each, and then see if we can't find another play. It's a small slate, so no guarantees. And I don't want to give out a parlay because I shopped. There's nothing that I really like. Every player's, alternate total that I liked was priced really where it was supposed to be. So there's not much I can do. I don't want to give out a bad play. I don't want to force a play for action. That being said, let's go to game 1, Toronto at Washington. I touched on this earlier. These two teams just played. It was a good game. I watched that one live. I was really upset when we missed the Kristaps under in that game. Late 3-minute, 14 seconds left killed us. But let's hope for a different result tonight. Let's hope he misses that late shot, or one of these teams break out to a lead and maybe he's not even in for that possession. Is Gary Trent Jr. really at 12.5? Must be on a minutes limit. Yeah, that's right. So going to steer clear of Gary Trent here. So Pascal's gone over 23.5 in 7 of his last 10. His over has been a play that we've touched a lot this year, and we've normally cashed. It's normally been good to us. That being said, I'm not in love with it today against Washington. The last game against Washington, he scored 13 points, wasn't aggressive. We may have been on his over. I can't remember. I'm just going to steer clear in this one. Not super thrilled. I don't think there's a lot of value. Model projections is just over 24. So here's one that I'm leaning on. Fred VanVleet's under. He had 14 the last time these two played. Fred's been struggling lately. I don't think it's a secret to anybody. Man, I just feel like if I take this tonight's the night he bounces back, We're going to put that on the back burner. Maybe a Fred VanVleet under. Moving to the Detroit Cleveland game. So what scares me about this is blowout potential. Jaden Ivey's been on a tear lately, but Cleveland's a really good defensive team. Cleveland's the best defensive team in the league. And even with Ivey's recent success, I still don't think that he's going to score over 16 and a half points. I don't have enough to take the under in this either, I don't think. So we're going to steer clear of that. Donovan Mitchell's been on a tear, but what worries me about this one is Cleveland going to be up 30 at halftime? Is he going to play more than 25 minutes? I know he could score 25 in 25 minutes. Don't get me wrong. I'm just afraid to take his over because of that. That really goes with everyone in this Cleveland team. I don't want to just play all unders because of how bad Detroit's defense is and the possibility. Detroit's bad on offense and defense, and with that I could see a blowout. So I just don't want to touch this game. Atlanta, Miami, this one's interesting. So I've already got the Trae Young under. I looked at a couple different things here. I like Bam for 15 plus. If you're looking to build a parlay, I like Bam for 15 plus in this matchup. Also like DeJounte Murray for 15 plus. If you wanted to go same game parlay in this one, I like both of those guys for 15 plus. DeJounte Murray's been a different player kind of here in the last 20 games. Not saying he's not getting his teammates involved because he's still doing that, but even being more aggressive. I think he's just becoming more comfortable in this Atlanta offense. Part of the reason I was on Trae's under. But Miami has a really good defense, and DeJounte's going to have to expend energy guarding a good player tonight. So going to stay away from his over or his under. So yeah, just those two, like minus 150. I'm sorry, 15 plus. You're probably going to play, I don't know, minus 2, minus 250, minus 300 on those. That's why I didn't want to build a parlay for today, but that's what I'm thinking in the Atlanta-Miami game. Nothing additional. I'm just skipping Houston-San Antonio. I've really got a rule. I don't really bet on either of those teams because they're so unpredictable. So we moved to Philly-Milwaukee, which I think is going to be a really fun game, a really good game. Joel Embiid, 31.5 is the number. James Harden, 22.5 is the number. Giannis, 31.5 is his number. There's a lot of angles in this game, and I just didn't know what approach to take. So two good defensive teams. Matchups for Giannis. I don't know who's going to get the first go. Will it be Tobias? I think they're going to focus on stopping Giannis in this game. You know, it's funny because Doc Rivers was once like people thought was a really good coach, and now it's like, you know, the NBA has changed a lot since he got that reputation. So that's probably part of why he's not a good coach anymore. He's not a good coach. Doesn't impress me anymore with today's NBA. He's got a good team. They're the third best defensive team in the league, but I just don't know that it's Doc responsible for that. That being said, Philly does hold him to 23 per contest this year. And over the last 2 years, they're holding him to 30. Is 30 holding him? I don't know. No play for me on Giannis. Lean under, though. No play for me on Embiid. Lean over. Even though Milwaukee does have the 5th best defense. Harden, no play. Lean over. Tobias, no play. Lean over. And last but not least, Minnesota, Sacramento. When I first looked into this game, I was thinking Edwards and Rudy Gobert's over each because of the pace of this game. But after diving a little deeper, I think it's going to be just a lean for me on both of these games. You know what? I think I did. I'm not even going to add this one either, but one play I was looking into is Mike Connolly over 6.5 assists, priced at -125. He's gone over this 67% of games played this season. It's just when he in the games with Anthony Edwards, he hasn't excelled. Games with Anthony Edwards over the last 10, he's gone over this in only 4 out of the last 10. So it looks good until you really dive into it a little deeper. And yeah, nothing. I couldn't find anything else. I gave it a second look. It's a 6-game slate. It's only 6 games. I got 4 plays for us. I'm going to have to end it at that. I might send out a play in these later games, but without keeping you guys here all night, there's just nothing that pops out on the board. You got anything?
Yeah, I was wondering about Jaw.
Oh, good call. Let's talk about this. Maybe a little bit of controversy in this one. So there's 2 sides of this. First, he has, whether it was his decision, Memphis, NBA's, not really clear, but Ja is stepping away for 2 games to focus on his mental health. Ja's stepping away for 2 games to focus on his mental health, and that is because so over the summer he was in a alleged, I want to be clear, alleged altercation with a 17-year-old male. And allegedly they were in an altercation and a gun was shown. So that's the backstory to what I'm about to say. Yesterday at about 2-3 a.m., Ja was seen on an IG Live flashing a handgun. And the first thing I want to say is if he owns that gun legally, although it might be stupid, there's nothing wrong with him owning a gun. Like, it's not even stupid for him to own a gun. You know, he's famous, he's wealthy, he needs to protect himself. I understand all of that. But knowing that you have a pending police case against you, I just don't think it was the right time for him to be showing the gun. And clearly the NBA felt the same way. And then before, even more context to this story is back when Memphis played Indy in Indy, Indy had team officials say that some of Ja's friends were shining a red dot at them, which allegedly may have been on a firearm. So you see how all these allegedlys just stand up, and it's like you could argue in Ja's case in all of them, right? But there comes a point where we just gotta do the right things, and there be no allegedlys, and there be no I don't know. You just gotta be smart in the moment. I don't have anything against Ja Morant owning a gun. I don't have anything against Ja Morant owning a gun. He, to keep himself safe. Like I said, he's rich. Memphis is known to be a dangerous place. If he's just protecting himself, like, I understand that, but you just got to be smarter in the moment. But I think with this 2 games, taking a step away, maybe they just got to sit down with him. Ja's still young and say, hey, look, you got to make better decisions. You're a public figure. And I think that's where the issue becomes. Like, a lot of people want to tie this into Ja is a role model. And I understand that. And again, I have nothing with him going to a strip club, and nothing against him going to a strip club, nothing against him owning a handgun. It was just the manner in which everything unfolded that was a little it was just a bad look for Ja. So it doesn't change my opinion on Ja. Ja's a phenomenal basketball player. He's a young kid that maybe did something dumb. I don't think he's a violent person. I think he pretends to be, and I don't want to be the media hot take of that. I just think that's part of his brand, but your brand shouldn't be, as an NBA player, flashing handguns. So I think that's probably the conversation him and Memphis are going to have. I think Ja is going to come out of this and be just as good or better than ever. I just think that this is a blemish on his career, and hopefully he gets a little smarter. That's what I wanted to say about that. That's all I got for the episode. Anything else? No. Probably another show tomorrow. If not, definitely Monday through Friday. trying to get between 5 and 7. Anything?
You want to run over UFC picks for today?
Oh yeah, we had a UFC show earlier. I don't even know. I don't want to call these UFC picks. I'm not tracking this. This isn't handicapping advice. But I will tell you what I'm going to be watching and possibly betting on for fun, right? John Jones, big favorite. Not a big favorite, minus 170.
When you're used to 110, it's a big thing.
Right, exactly. Like exactly what DJ said. When you're used to 110, 170 sounds like a lot. I don't normally lay lines like that. Although we did lay minus 210 on WVU cash. Ian Gary, Bo Nickel parlay, maybe, something for fun. They're both really large favorites. You know what? I'm not going to run through UFC. Go watch the last show. My buddy Chris does a much better job explaining these plays. It's on YouTube or Twitter. Is it on Twitch? YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. Go watch the last show. Get my UFC 285 plays, projections, picks, whatever you want to call it. And maybe a recap on that. Expect an NBA show tomorrow. Oh, yeah. I got something fun planned. We got something fun planned. We're going to do a little watch along for the UFC fights tonight. Obviously, you can't see the screen. Obviously, I don't think you'll be able to hear any audio. We're going to do it by the book legally. We're going to make sure we cross our T's and dot our I's. But you'll be able to see our reactions right along with us. So we'd like as many of you as possible to come in. We have like 40, 50 people tuning in usually for a show. Appreciate y'all. Also, go to my Twitter. If you like and retweet and vote on the Jones poll, I'm going to do a giveaway if the community is correct. Right now, we're leaning hard to Jones. I think he's at like a 70%, but we've only had 20 or 30 votes, I think, so far. So go vote, run the votes up. Let's see where we finish. Vote on who you think's gonna win. Like and retweet to be entered to win. I'm putting $100 on it and whatever cash is away. We got anything else? No. All right, y'all. That's it for me. We'll be back later tonight for everybody that tunes in for the live stream, and then we'll be back with a show tomorrow.